the Liberty Festival. Highlights of the festival in Stroud on 15th of September 2012. In this film, there are highlights from the Liberty Festival's opening speeches, GDance, Deaf Diva Caroline Parker, storytelling, and a photography project. The day also had films, discussions, sign language sessions, and much more.
Today we are here because we're having the Liberty Festival, which is for people with disabilities to celebrate their abilities and achievements. We want to focus rather on what people can't do to what they can do. 36% of deaf children can't swim. And the reason for that is because they can't access sports clubs and classes because of communication. There's no access to communication there, so therefore they don't learn to swim, which is awful. That's just an example.
I think NBC should hold their head in shame in America for not showing any live coverage of the Paralympic Games. America not showing anything about disability, and they claim to be the greatest country in the world. Well, not in my book, not in my book. Britain has the opportunity to absolutely embrace the energy of the Paralympics, to take it right down to a local level like Reg is doing here in Stroud and across the county, and making sure everybody is embraced in exactly the same way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a brilliant day. You're going to see comedy, you're going to see dance, you're going to learn to sign just like this. But keep hold of the enthusiasm and do something about it when you go back to your school or your workplace. Don't ignore it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think my job now is to introduce the performers, the first performance of the day, which I understand is, I don't know where they are or where they're going to come from, but they're going to come down on wires or hoops or anything like that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage GDance.
Kelly, and we're from Gloucestershire Dance. We aim to provide inclusive dance classes to able-bodied, disabled people, anyone facing barriers. Kelly and I today are not performing for you. We're actually going to run a dance session that we're hoping you will all get involved in. Also throughout the day, some of the films that GDance has produced are going to be shown in the subscription rooms. So as I say, we're going to be running a workshop now and another one at 1 o'clock, and we hope that you'll all take part with us.
Okay.
60 dance leader.
Brilliant. And so what do you do with that?
I help around. If I go to different events, I come and hand leaflets out or flyers, or go to different workshops.
Great.
There's a group on a Monday night that we go and take part. Mainly it's all for disabilities, but anybody can take part.
Great.
So that's at National Star College.
This is great. In the light of the Paralympics, we have all got something to demonstrate. This is great. I love it.
Cool.
Is everyone active at Stratford Park Leisure Centre?
Great. And what are you doing here today?
Today we're just promoting our equipment that we've got in our gym that enables people with disability that they can come and exercise. We've got GP referral trained instructors that can help to prescribe programmes and things like that.
So how does that work with the GP referrals?
Yeah, they go to the GP and they get a referral sent from their doctor that then come across to us, and we then do a consultation and induction with them and meet with them.
Great.
Recognised. She's very well known across the country for doing sign song. She's deaf, and she performed for the opening ceremony for the Paralympics, so we're very privileged to have her here with us today. She does sign song, and her name is Caroline Parker. So welcome.
Long enough to have a boarding My name is Howard Powell and I'm a committee member of the Stroud and District Access Group.
And what's that all about?
It's obviously twofold. It's one, disability awareness, and the other is accessibility. Accessibility could be for visually impaired people to use a computer, to read print. Instead of print, use a different method. It's the provision of the facility of people to access things. Could be access into a building where somebody in a wheelchair has a problem getting into a building, or even getting into the building but not getting upstairs, for example, in a large building.
A hustle here and a hustle there. New York City is the place where they said, hey babe, take a walk on the wild side. I said, hey Joe, take a walk on the wild side.
I understand today that I'm gate crashing another party, the Liberty Festival. I hope that everybody here is super inspired by what the Paralympians did for the country. It was absolutely hand in hand with the Olympics, and I enjoyed watching it and enjoying it as a spectator and a supporter. So thank you for letting me gate crash your party. I hope you have a fantastic day.
Hello, I'm Jackie Martell. I'm here with about 3 hats on, I think. The main one being I'm mum of Thomas, who's got profound learning disabilities, and but I'm also chair of trustees for All Souls, which supports local families of disabled children. I'm a new member of the Stroud District Access Group, and work for Gloucestershire, so a number of different routes. But I think it's a really important day trying to raise awareness of disability issues in the town, and keen for it to be more than physical access, about access to services, access to a good quality of life for everybody, really.
My name's Amy, and me and my humble assistant Flick have been doing a photography workshop for people during this wonderful celebration of Disability Day at the sub-rooms, and we've been giving people digital cameras. They've been going out and taking photos.
Well, they're collecting some images around accessibility, so that we've got an impression from a wide range of people with disability about what they perceive as their access issues. And people with mental health issues will have different ones to people with visually impaired or physically impairments. So it's about having a collection of work that can be used in different occasions.
I've been the volunteer today, though I am full-time employee at ArtShape. I've been helping out Amy, and I think that it's a brilliant project, and I've really enjoyed myself actually.
Difficulty I have with light and depth perception, because I only have one eye and the other one's slightly knackered. So this kind of reflects that on strong light moments, how difficult it is actually to get any crystals, as well as work out where anything actually is.
Oh yeah, tell me more about ArtShape then.
Basically, it's a disability arts charity.
An access charity.
An access charity. Actually, you know, you'll probably know more up-to-date stuff than me, Riz. You've been there 2 weeks so far. But basically, ArtShape will go for lots of different funding bids and funding pots, and be open to supporting people to do art projects with people with access difficulties to learning. So if you've got a barrier to learning, be that a disability or an access problem in any way. Very, very wide remit, and that means that anyone can enjoy arts and crafts. And Artshape will take their activities to different locations to make that accessibility help.
Great, like today. Yeah, brilliant.
Hello. We've been talking about stories, powerful stories about inclusion here at the Liberty Festival in Stroud. So we've been running a storytelling workshop with Joe. We've been trying to get people to draw some of their stories of inclusion and show how people have been accepted in the heart of community, whether that's community of place, community of faith, community of interest. And we've had some really interesting things that have come up actually, haven't we? Because earlier on today that we were talking, the chap was here, a gold medalist from the Olympic Games. Lots of the kids have been talking about the Olympics and how that's inspired them. But their attitudes towards the Paralympics has been really interesting as well. So that's been, it's just really inspiring that children are starting to accept people with disabilities for their strengths and for the contribution that they have. And that's a real great move forward, I think. But Joe, do you want to explain some of these stories?
So me and Claire Hudman, the visual artists who've been running the workshop with me, we just told a few stories of our own, of good examples of inclusion. And one of those was to do with my daughter when she was in the hospital for a long time. One of her friends said to all her friends, send in a little bit of fabric that's special to you in some way, or something with a message on, and then sewed bunting that she'd have above her bed to lift her heart and see all those lovely messages hanging above her head. Anyway, so we did things, telling stories like that, and about community action. Well, that was community action, and then we manifested in pictures. So this one here is to do with, this is a wheelchair user called Katie, who says that she's got a younger brother and sister, and when their friends come to visit, sometimes they're very shy when they see her, and her brother and sister say, don't be shy, that's just Katie. And how children can dispel things by being so straightforward.
I think this is a really important one because the police statistics came out nationally and the numbers vary from place to place, but here in Gloucestershire the numbers of reported hate crimes are very low, whereas when I talk to people, people think they should be a lot higher. So we're going to watch this film, we'll have a conversation about our thoughts about hate crime, and then where are the ladies who did the storytelling?
They've just gone for a drink.
Okay, and then the ladies who were looking at important stories in our communities will give a quick presentation about that. Does that sound about right?
Wow, what a day for me. Bits of today that make me feel very, very emotional, and there's a lot of things that have happened, and I've got so many thank yous to say to so many people.
Film and edit by Philip Booth. More films of the Liberty Festival on www.stroudcommunity.tv.